All right, as I mentioned, each of the candidates will have 3 minutes for opening remarks, starting with Ted Larsen.
Thanks, Costas, and thanks to the Dalhousie Student Union for this debate. With the exception of Tony, we are all first-time candidates here. But without exception, I know all of us have our hearts in the right place. We care about our community. We want to see improvements. We will differ about emphasis and approach, but we all believe positive change is possible through our parliamentary democracy. I've had a great 37 years here in Halifax, and I can honestly say there is nowhere in the world I would rather live. Like so many, I came here to attend university and stayed to build a life. I feel blessed to have had a career that has put me in touch with such a broad spectrum of people. From my days as a reporter to my time in government and politics, from my years as a communications consultant to the last 20 years in our property business and raising kids along with my late wife, this combination of experience has given me a deep knowledge of Halifax and what makes it tick. It also makes me keenly aware of where we need to improve and how important it is to have strong representation within a progressive national government. That's why I decided to offer myself as a candidate for the Conservative Party of Canada in this election. I have observed the Harper government during its first term in office, and I've been impressed. For the first time in my life, I have witnessed government policy that is determined to improve the lives and conditions of every spectrum of society across the board. From seniors to students to working families and the working poor, there is hardly a segment of our society that is not better off than they were before the Harper government came to office. The Conservative approach is a clear departure from the past. It is not an approach of grandiose schemes and unachievable visions that only end in expensive disappointment for taxpayers. Instead, we have seen a government that through common sense, mundane, unexciting, nuts and bolts measures has done more good for more people in a short time than all of the grand visions that I've seen. So I'm very proud to be here tonight as a candidate for election to the next Conservative government of Canada. I am proud to identify with a government that through prudent management has successfully used one of the most important levers of government, the tax regime, as a serious instrument of social policy to better the lives of so many Canadians. I am proud to identify with a government that has reduced the country's net debt by some $40 billion since assuming office and is committed to using the interest savings from this reduced debt for needed social programs in our country. I am proud to identify with the first government to place serious limits on carbon emissions, limits that can be achieved without ruining the economy of our country. I am proud to identify with a government that is unwilling to shrink from its responsibility to protecting the public from crime. I am proud to identify with a government that is determined to exercise our sovereignty in the North and has increased funding for arts and culture by 8% during its 2.5 years in office. Halifax is the regional capital of Atlantic Canada. There's a lot to be done here, both socially and economically, and I believe my voice in the Harper government can bring about progress for our community. I look forward to a lively and positive discussion of the issues here tonight. None of us has a monopoly on good ideas. None of us is entirely right or entirely wrong. Our approaches to achieving progress and our emphasis on priorities will differ, but we all agree progress is necessary and possible. That's why we're here. Thanks very much.